Welcome back to my channel.
Story 1.
Mrs. Adams took a knitting class. She did not expect it to be very fun, but she ended up loving it. She began knitting all day and night. First, she practiced making blankets. Then, she learned to knit hats and mittens. She even tried making socks and pants. Within 1 month, she had given all her grandchildren dozens of knitted pieces. She expected the kid to wear them at all times. It was the middle of summer. The children wanted to be in tank tops and shorts, not scarves and sweaters. They told their grandmother to stop.
Story 2.
Joey Campbell was 14 years old. He had 3 sisters and no brothers. His father loved playing sports with him. Joey did not mind this. However, all Joey was truly interested in doing was dancing. All his sisters were allowed to take ballet classes. Joey wanted to sign up, too. His father laughed at him. He thought he was joking. "You know you belong in the football team," said his father. This made Joey angry. It was not fair that he was not allowed to dance if he wanted to. His sisters agreed. They secretly taught Joey all the moves. On the day of their ballet recital, Joey danced with them. His father was very proud.
Story 3.
Jack Miller was angry at his neighbors. "They are so inconsiderate," he said. These neighbors were very loud. They owned 3 dogs, 2 birds, and 1 goat. None of these animals ever shut up. Even more, they loved playing music all day. Jack would not mind this. However, his neighbors played it loud enough for the whole block to hear. "It wouldn't be so bad if their music wasn't terrible," said Jack. Luckily, these neighbors soon moved out. Jack couldn't be happier. He would finally enjoy peace and quiet. Unfortunately, the new neighbors arrived with a baby. This baby cried just as loud as all the other things put together.
Story 4.
Mr. and Mrs. Green were new parents. Their baby was born 2 months before. For 2 months, they hadn't gotten any sleep. The baby took up every minute of their days. They needed a break from parenting. "We're going to go crazy," said Mr. Green. Mr. Green's mom told them to go on vacation. She would take care of their baby while they were gone. "That sounds like a great plan," said Mrs. Green. The couple packed up their bags and were on their way quickly. The new parents thought they would love their first time away from the baby. They were very wrong. All they could do was worry about whether he was okay. They drove back home after 1 day.
Story 5.
Stephen had just moved to California. He had so many things to see and do. He wanted to go camping by the beach. He wanted to visit Hollywood. But above everything, he wanted to go to Disneyland. Stephen drove to Anaheim the first chance he got. He had been dreaming of seeing Disneyland since he was 5 years old. He was now 25. As soon as Stephen walked into the park, he turned into a 5-year-old again. He was so full of excitement that he cried. Stephen went back to Disneyland at least once every month. He loved his new home.
Story 6.
Mr. Robinson was a cool grandpa. All the neighborhood kids loved him. He always had funny jokes to tell. He taught them how to play fun games. He even gave them ice cream every Sunday. The kids never wanted to leave his side. One Sunday morning, the kids were waiting for him to open his door. He never showed up. Mr. Robinson had passed away. Every house was filled with crying kids that night. The kids would meet at his grave every Sunday afternoon. This went on for many years. They would sit around and tell old jokes. They always brought ice cream.
Story 7.
Mitchell buys a cup of coffee at his local cafe every morning. He always sees the same homeless man sitting outside. This man waits for people to come out. He asks everyone for change. Although the homeless man is very friendly, Mitchell does not like him. He is useless and lazy, Mitchell always said. One morning, Mitchell was running late to work. He stormed out of the cafe doors. Then, he ran across the street to his car. Since he was in a hurry, he did not check for traffic. Suddenly, all he saw was a big white truck about to run him over. Luckily, the homeless man pushed Mitchell out of the way just in time to save his life. Mitchell gave him $5 every morning after that.
Story 8.
Samantha Williams was a young and pretty woman. Men were always asking her out on dates. Samantha did not want a boyfriend. She nicely said no to every man that asked her out. This broke many men's hearts. However, most of the men would just move on. One day, a man asked Samantha out for a cup of coffee. When she declined, the man was very angry. He began following her everywhere she went. Every time Samantha looked around, he was hiding nearby. Samantha was terrified. She was being stalked. Samantha called the police to ask for help. "Don't worry," they told her. "You're probably just imagining everything." 2 days later, Samantha went missing.
Story 9.
Harris had just turned 75 years old. He was feeling so ancient. He wanted his youth back. He used to be strong and handsome. Now he was wrinkly and flabby. He used to love adventure. He even wrestled an alligator once. Now, he was too lazy to even go for walks. Time passed by too fast, he kept thinking. I need to be more daring. Harris knew what to do. I'm going to go skydiving, he said. He picked up his grandson. We're going on an adventure, he told him. By the time they got to the airport, Harris was asleep. Forget it, said Harris. It's nap time.
Story 10.
It was Anderson's birthday. He was turning 21 years old. His friends planned a party for him. Anderson could now legally drink alcohol, but his friends wanted him to get very drunk. As soon as Anderson arrived, they gave him his first shot of tequila. He did not like the taste of it. His friends still convinced him to take another shot of it. He kept trying new drinks the whole night. "All of these taste disgusting," said Anderson. The rest of the night kept getting blurrier. When Anderson woke up the next morning, he felt terrible. His head was throbbing. His stomach was turning. "I'll never drink again," he yelled.